in this relationship, meaning I don't need a trauma bond with you, okay? She wants you because she wants the healed part of you, but has the capacity, because we're all human, we ain't perfect, to facilitate and deal with the unhealed part of you that's going to show up in the relationship at some point. And hers is going to show up too. Mine is going to show up too. And so that's why I always say, I want a hybrid. I want a hybrid for y'all out there who want to know, meaning a man who's high functioning enough to meet my healthy high functioning, but low functioning enough to deal with me when my abandonment inflames, to deal with me when some of my dysfunctions that I'm still working on inflame. Because if he's too high functioning, guess what? He doesn't have the bandwidth to deal with the low functioning part, which then means he can only connect with folks who are not being fully authentic within themselves. Meaning you may have a loving relationship, but you won't have a real intimate, deep, vulnerable relationship. I'm a woman who seeks connection and vulnerability. I'm not into casualties or casual sex, just TMI or not, meaning I like the depth of things. And so I need you to see me. I need you to see my broken. I want you to see my heart, whatever that comes with. And I'm not embarrassed about it. I'll tell you about it. I'll show it to you. And I'm okay with a man who can facilitate it. But what a high functioning man may do is if he's all the way high functioning, he has already cut off the side of him that is authentic, and there's a superficialness there that won't allow him to connect with a real person. So can he still love and experience love? Yeah, love has it just loves everything. But will he experience the depth of some of the wholeness of love, meaning the down, the up, the ugly, the heaven, the hell mom was talking about? No. And let me say this really quick. And this is why trauma bonds usually feel like the most intense, in love, deepest relationships, because you got two at the epitome of vulnerability, pain pocket people who are bonding. And most people who are low functioning are exactly who they are. Exactly who they are. Doesn't make it bad for being who they are. Exactly who they are. That's their pain, their trauma. They gonna flee, they gonna scream, they gonna hit, they gonna do whatever comes up. Right? Fuck it, I'm mad. Whatever comes up, they there. There's no awareness, there's no stop, there's no nothing. I'm triggered, I'm inflamed, we just go to let's tear this thing up. Right? High functioning only means, Cam, that I feel them same feels. I still feel, excuse my language, you got me fucked up. I'm ready to go there. I'm flamed, I'm triggered. It's all there, right? But it's still dormant. It's still in me. And high functioning means I can regulate those emotions. Watch this and say, okay, right now I'm ready to rip this man's head off. Right now he got me all the way fucked up. Okay, so how do I relay that message to him where it's going to be respectful, it's going to be non-combative, and I'm going to disarm him while he still knows you got me fucked up? Because I don't have to say those words for you to know, I think I went too far with Doc. And you still feel respected and loved, so that I just disarmed you, and we can still have an engaging, emotionally intelligent conversation that ends in resolve, whether resolve means win-win, because resolve is really win-win, or one person wins or none, and we agree to disagree, and we can still go to the cigar lounge and have a drink and you have your cigar. But low-functioning people going to tear this thing up with no emotional regulation. They're also going to choose a person who does it with them and allows them to do it. Because I only can do to you what you allow me to do. Because if I start cutting up in here and you say, Doc, we love you, love to have you here, but you got to go and you're not welcome back. There's no pun intended. That's not our culture here. Guess what? I can't do that again. And that's not called fleeing. You emotionally, intelligently said, Doc, love you here. You're a great guest, but that's not our culture. We don't do that here. Now I have a choice to make. Do I want to be in a relationship with Cam? Do I want to be welcome back here? Self-inventory. You just did me the best favor you could have ever did. By excusing me, you blessed me. Because now I got to look at myself and say, what needs to be done for me to fit in this? Now let's flip it. I'm with a dude who's turned up. He's a womanizer. He got all these women. He spent money on me. He treat me good. And what you said earlier, he D's me down. You didn't say you would D me down, but use the D word, clarity. He D's me down. And so I come in and I tell him, no, I'm just like, I'm not a woman. I'm like wholesome. I'm not into casual sex. I don't do all that, but I'm in love with him. And he lets me know, check this out, baby. Daddy love you. There's a place for you here, but not like that. You got to be able to do these things. Check back in when you can. That woman has a choice to make too. She goes and takes self-inventory and says, do I want to do these things so I can fit in with daddy? Or do I want to stay true to who I am? Either way, it's a choice. But high-functioning people have the ability to take a step back internally, not physically, process what they feel.
Black culture feeds fashion, but fashion doesn't.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of SGDS, Same Goes Different Struggles Entertainment. I am your host, AJ. If you like what you hear, and you want to see more content, please click the subscribe button. So look, I'm pretty sure everybody, if you haven't, you either heard about the Cam and on Dr. Bryant episode. I seen it when it first came out, and I sent it to my homeboy Chris, who I hope to have up on here one day, or in a few days where we can have a part 2 to this, because this is more of his lane, because he is a psychologist. So we talk about this a lot behind closed doors, every day. So I want to get his input on here. A lot of people been going at Cam. And first off, let me just say, I love a woman like Dr. Bryant. Like, she's like A1. Even though she don't like to talk to dudes that have kids, I think I understand, and I think I understand why. A lot of females just want to start their family off fresh, and there's nothing wrong with that. They don't want the drama, and they just want to they want their kids to have the same mommy and daddy, which I think a lot of what Cam was missing is that in that conversation. It's like, it's nothing wrong, because I wanted that. Hell, sometimes I still want that. Like, and I don't even want no more kids, but it's just the things that come with it. You know what I mean? Like, dealing with the baby mama drama, baby daddy drama. And when you get to a certain maturity, you just don't want nothing to interrupt your peace. So that's unnecessary peace sometimes to people that feel like they don't have to deal with it. It's different when you have kids literally with somebody that's biologically yours. You literally, I don't want to say have to deal with it, because a lot of people choose not to still deal with it, but that's still their parent. So 9 times out of 10, if you go to court, you got to take her to court, or he got to take her to court. I feel like people win at Cam, and I think Cam really need to evaluate herself on this, bro, because and I don't really speak on everybody like that, but I think Cam was missing a lot of points. And sometimes it just comes with life experience and maturity and reading and becoming more knowledgeable. Dr. Bryant seems like a real intelligent female, and you better come on your A game when you're dealing with a female like that, because one thing I noticed, and I noticed when she talked to Nick Cannon too, once a female can articulate herself in a way where she can hit a nerve, because to me she was hitting nerves with Cam and Nick, that they just ain't really, they don't know how to communicate without showing their emotions when them nerves is hit, or they haven't healed from whatever she triggered in them. Because a lot of times, and I know that's with me, sometimes I used to get triggered by things people would say to me. And a lot of times, majority of the time, that just comes from things you haven't healed from in life. Because at the end of the day, it don't matter what nobody says, as long as you have come to peace or terms with whatever you're dealing with. And it's not only that, a lot of things she was saying was right. That's another reason why them nerves was triggered, because a lot of things was right. And a lot of times, especially dudes who consider themselves alpha or are alpha, they ain't trying to hear that. They feel like that woman shouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, they don't want a woman always challenging them. And a woman like Dr. Bryant's going to challenge you. She's not going to back down. She's not going to sit back and allow you just, you know what I mean? She's been through a lot. I could tell just from the way she communicates, the way she talks. Men, a lot of men, I'm 33. And I'm so confident in anything and everything I do that I know that when I talk to a female that I don't have, like, it's either we vibing or we not. And I can walk away without whatever. But I know how to communicate without reacting to my emotions. Am I perfect? Am I still growing? Because I still react off my emotions? Yes, but I am a single father of 3. I take care of my moms. I got bills. I got responsibilities on top of responsibilities that I'm also dealing with. Not saying that she ain't, because usually not, like, majority of the time, the female's dealing with the same problem. You feel me? So I understand it from her that side now. When you never been put in them shoes before, you won't understand how just having so much responsibilities of nurturing and being there, it brings a different type of maturity. And what I mean by that is, she kept saying Cam is really, he's keep starting broken homes. And what she don't mean is, like, when you being in, it's a double take on that too. Because 2-parent household does not guarantee that your kid is not going to be broken. And that's going to be another thing I talk about with my coach, because he told me the other day, he grew up around majority, 90% was 2-parent household, and majority of the kids was fucked up. Fucked up. So it's not a guarantee when women think, like, you feel me, that they want a man that was raised in a 2-parent household. Oh, I know someone that's fucked up. So it's not a guarantee. I wasn't raised in a 2-parent household, but I handle my responsibility and care of myself way different than a lot of these men out here. And I see that now. So my level of confidence, my level of I don't give a fuck is totally different than another man. I don't even want to argue with you. You got it. If we can't sit down and have an intelligent conversation where that's where she's coming in with the high functioning, like, where I can listen to you, you could listen to me, and we could either come to an agreement or we could come to a point where we just say that we agree to disagree, but we still have that respect for each other, nothing changed, then that's a different type of maturity and growth that a lot of alpha males don't have. That's just, a lot of them consider themselves, this and that, but a lot of them didn't get that attention that they were looking for. Somewhere, something, or they got hurt real bad to the point that they feel like they can't ever go back. I remember Nick Cannon saying that, he stopped being the good guy when he found out that girls like bad dudes. And that just showed me right there, you don't know yourself and you trying to be something that you're not. Because at the end of the day, if you, a girl gonna like you for you should want a girl to like you for you, not something you're portraying to be. And that's why I don't hang with a lot of these males, because a lot of them are just doing something to portray something that they really ain't. And that's not something I believe in at all. So it's just crazy to me how people don't, like, Cam was literally getting triggered by everything she's saying, where he was, trying to overtalk and stuff. You can't overtalk the female like that. And a female that can stay calm while you getting emotional is a dangerous female, yo. Like, you got to really read, like, a person that always getting emotional and triggered by things, man, you already know what they're going to do. Because they're going to tell you what they're going to do. But a person that can stay calm and articulate themselves, and that just really comes with knowledge and reading. Because a lot of time when I listen to these podcasts now and these famous dudes that y'all love so much, a lot of these fools can't talk. Like, literally cannot communicate to a female. And it triggers them. They talk better to males than they do females. Like, go watch some of these podcasts and watch how they talk to these females. A lot of dudes get mad at me and trigger them. Like, bro, how you get all these females to be your brand ambassador and stuff? I'm going to be real with you. I can talk to a female, but I ain't the best. Like, as far as, like, keeping, like, because I know my mouth, it can get slick sometimes, like, where I'm just direct. And I really don't be caring what I say. I'm just direct. And I don't even got to cuss at you, but I'm going to be direct. Or I might say something to trigger you, and I ain't even got to get mad. You feel me? And that's not always a good thing, because you never know what a person is going through. So some things, like I said, I'm imperfect. When I get on my podcast, I don't never value to sit here and just dog somebody. I put myself in that category too, because like I said, we're all imperfect. We all have things we have to work on. But trying to like I don't know, like one thing she was saying about the broken home. Cam come from a 2-parent household, his mom and his dad. I don't know their situation like that. And one thing I was my homie Chris was telling me, like a lot of times when you have a 2-parent household, the dad usually working a lot. And once he working, sometimes he don't even know how to still connect with his sons to the point where they only connect through football or certain things. Like they don't connect. That's the only way they connect. And connecting with your kids through sport is cool, but it shouldn't be the only thing. Because a lot of times, especially with older males, they try to live their high school, their whatever dreams through their kids. And that brings a damaging and heartbreaking relationship because you're not father and son. You're not growing to build a relationship. Basically, you're his coach. And that's where y'all literally spend all your time, and that's where y'all make y'all connection. Some people make that connection, that's all they have, and they great with that. And they become better fathers like that to their kids. Some people don't. Some people become, they become crazy. They become wild. They lose their mind. They don't know what's wrong. And they're emotionally damaged in a way where they're triggered by things that they're missing or they haven't healed from. I went through a period of time in my life where I was hurt. And I would take my frustration and anger out on people, especially females or whatever. Like I wasn't good at communicating. I was shut down. I wouldn't want to talk about it. I wouldn't want to talk about the problem. And I think that's a lot of things when Dr. Bryant was talking about where men run away from want to fix the situation or fix the problem. Whatever your problem is, if you run away from it or leave it there, it's still going to be there until you fix it. So just because you then literally left the problem alone for that minute and thinking that it's going to be all cool, it don't always work like that. Because what if the next time y'all trigger and get into it and they bring that shit back up that you didn't ever heal from or get corrected? Now you mad about that situation plus the new situation because you haven't healed inside. And that's where a lot of domestic violence come in from. That's where a lot of that, and I'm going to be honest with you, some people like toxic energy. Like, they like to be toxic. That brings them some type of joy. I've seen it. That's why I tell people everything that look good ain't good for you. Like, spirits are real. They're good spirits and bad spirits. And a lot of people who haven't healed from their past trauma brings that bad spirit with them. Because they handle a lot of things with their emotions. Your emotions lead you into the wrong situation 95% of the time. A lot of people that's in jail right now will tell you they made decisions off their emotions. A lot of males don't know how to control their emotions. That's one thing I'm working on my youngest son with. All my kids, really. Controlling your emotions. And I have been a lot of times the bad example for that because I didn't know how to control my emotions. Like I said, I wasn't raised with a 2-parent household. All I had was my mom. I ain't have no uncles. I ain't have no big, like, you know what I mean? I ain't had that. And the dudes I was hanging around, like the older cats, like the real OGs, like people I looked up to, I reminded them of, they looked at me and thought of themselves. They looked at, like, that's how they looked at me. So they connected with me in a way. But I'm the type, man, I ask a lot of questions, and I really didn't start growing until I could say I met my homeboy Phil from Cali. That nigga really don't never get mad, but a lot of the questions and stuff I was asking, he had answers to. You feel me? And it just really calmed. Like I really started looking at things a lot different. Then after I had my surgery, I had time to slow down and evaluate who I was, and that's really when I turned 30. I started really just growing and just being like trying to change the man I was, and because I'm raising boys too. Well, actually, I'm raising young men now. They'll be 12 this year, so it's like I want them to be better. I want them to, be able, like, that's one thing I don't like. My boys are 2 months apart, exactly. I don't want them to go through none of that shit. You feel me? Like, I don't preach. I don't think, like, none of that shit is cool, like, having multiple baby mamas and shit like that. Like, if I could do it over, I'd do it over. Because I see the hurt that it brings to kids, and that's where I think Dr. Bryant was going with, and I wish he would have said it. If Cam literally talked to his kids, like, and asked them how they feel, if even, I don't know, he said they got up there all in the household, so I don't know. But at the same time, they're all in the household, they're still missing their moms. Each of them got different moms. Just because they in the household don't mean that it's not going to be broken. Even if the mom's still around, it's not the same as if you got your parents there every single day, where you could go to each one of them every single day. They're still broken. They're still missing that part, those times that they can't get back. And today is crazy because it wasn't like that in, like, the 50s, 60s. Like, they stayed together. Like, yeah, like, dad might have a, outside family and stuff like that. I can't even take that away, but he usually stayed. They usually stayed together majority of the time that I know of in stories. Now, I'm not saying it's always like that, but lately it's been promoted to have multiple kids by different females. You got all these rappers having like 10, 11 kids. Yeah, you might be able to provide for them, but they're going to be emotionally damaged because they're missing the absence of their father. Because you can't spend all your time with all the kids. Like, it's impossible. Man, I got 3 that stay with me now. Been staying with me, and it's hard to balance out having them and giving them all time. So I just try to do the best that I can. But it gets hard. So that's where you have to be able to, and as a parent, you want to be able to show your kids different. You should want better for your boys. To show them what marriage is. To show them what having a stable, solid foundation is. Like, that's the goal. But I'm gonna get up out of here. I got another live to do, man. I'm gonna check y'all later. We'll get back to this one in a minute, man. Holla.